Bam, we're live. Brian Friend, welcome back to the show. Sevan, welcome back to the show. Crash Crucible, welcome back to the show. Andrew Hiller, welcome back to the show. Matt Souza, welcome back to the show. And here we go. Team event number 4. There's only one heat. There's only ever been one heat. Don't ask any dumb questions. We're back in the turf area, 6 lanes, 18-minute time cap.
That's going to be a loud one, huh?
Man, the floor at Crash Crucible takes a beating.
This is a male-male and then female-female style event. 24 flip sleds for the men, then 48 ring muscle-ups. They can split that work any way they want. Then the women will have 24 flip sleds, less weight. They can change the weights while the men are doing the muscle-ups, and the women have 36 ring muscle-ups. We actually had a 3-way tie amongst the teams to start the day.
Another CEO shirt on the floor. I like to see that always.
But after this morning, Team BRRH are the leaders. They have 270 points. They took second place on the thruster ladder. They have a 10-point lead over Apex Performance Black, who is third on that, and a 30-point lead over the team from CrossFit Crash, who now only has 10 points over Camo after Camo got their first win of the weekend this morning.
Brian, let me help you out with some graphics with that. There we go.
Beautiful. Ah, you are good.
First place, Blue City CrossFit, 270 points. Apex Performance, 260. Zaxxon Jr., 240. Camo, 230. You see that they're not using the performance-based scoring. They're using the traditional scoring. And why is that, Brian? Why don't the teams use the performance-based scoring?
Well, it really works better with bigger fields. They only have six teams in this division. At the 2-minute mark, those 24 flip sleds are done, and lane number 2, the leaders, Team BRRH, Ryan Fitzpatrick, already on the rings, chipping away at 48 ring muscle-ups. I'm going to go shift our camera. Oh, no, we have a camera. We can see that. Perfect. So on the right with no shirt on, that is BRRH. In the middle with the black Apex jerseys is Apex Performance Black. Those are your first and second in the heat. They're also first and second in the event. But watch out for Zach Streel on the left. In the black, just kicking up to the rings. He might do 20 or more ring muscle-ups unbroken right here.
Lane number 4 is Brian's pick to whack these muscle-ups out.
J.R. Howell running over to tell me to watch and try to count, as he expects Zach to do somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 in a row as well. Lane number 1 is Camo, the Camo team. They were the winners of the thruster ladder this morning and have put themselves back in contention for the podium. They were actually the team I thought might have the best chance to win here to start the day, or to start the weekend. Currently in 4th place and looking to climb out of that hole.
Who's the guy in the CEO shirt? Lane
Joe
1.
Cates, Joe Cates.
Joe Cates, lane 1. In the black CEO shirt.
All 6 men, or all 6 male-male pairs are working on the muscle-ups. One interesting nuance, you see that in a few of the lanes, there are 1 or 2 risers there. Some of the athletes, being quite shorter than their male counterparts, are flipping those up and down depending on who's jumping on the rings, which obviously takes a little bit of time in the transition. The men need to accumulate 48 total ring muscle-ups. At the far side of the floor, the equipment team are changing the weights on the flip sled for the women. They will have the same number of flip sleds, but 12 less, or 75% of the total volume of the ring muscle-up. There's an 18-minute time cap for this. 4 minutes have passed by, and most of these teams are already past the halfway point in terms of the ring muscle-up. So for the top teams, the time cap will not be an issue at all. As far as the men are concerned, the volume of ring muscle-ups for the women, of course, is going to probably be the limiting factor at the end of this one.
Hey, that guy hasn't come down yet, the Crash kid. In 4.
He did come down. They switched out actually once.
Oh. Man, his first rep's as strong as his last rep. And when he jumps down, he quickly moves the riser for his partner, who must be significantly taller than him.
Yeah, Zach Striel has actually done 100 ring muscle-ups for time, and his time on that was within a few seconds of Taylor Self's time. Taylor Self is amongst the best I've ever seen a ring muscle-up. Zach Striel, by default, also is in that category.
I think Andrew Hiller's better than Taylor at muscle-ups.
And the men for Team BRRH, first to the rings, first off the rings, Ryan and Hayden getting the job done there. Their women are working on the flip sled.
Joe Cates in lane 1 with the CEO shirt back on the rings. Looks like to be the largest guy doing muscle-ups out there.
Rachel Blong and Bryn Carrick, the women for BRRH, they're leading the way. The CrossFit Crash team made up some work on the rings. Reagan and Jessica are working on the sled for them. So it's BRRH in first, Crash in second. Third place in lane 1 is that Camo team. Addie Balderson and Lauren Olson, the women for them. And the Apex Performance Black team, within four muscle-ups to go as their women are waiting to get started. Those are the top 4 teams and likely the 4 teams that will continue to battle for the podium. Right now, it's BRRH, who are the overall leaders in the competition, also leading this heat. But as I mentioned, those 36 ring muscle-ups for the women are looming at the end and will probably be the deciding factor when everything is said and done.
It does not matter how you break up the pig flips or the ring muscle-ups.
Correct. It's the volume. JR thought the volume was high enough, split any way, and it's very unlikely that any one athlete is going to want to do all of either of those things. A failure on the rings for Apex Performance Black on their last rep. They're falling well behind the other 3 teams who are in podium contention here. However, with the scoring system being the way that it is and those other 2 teams not really factoring in that much, they are still in 4th place. Their men are done. Their women are getting started. The women for Apex Performance Black are Kara Petruzzelli and Rebecca Stidham. So all 4 of the top 4 teams have their ladies working. The team in lane number 5, Apex Predators, also have cleared the way for the women. And in lane number 6, Apex Purple's men are still chipping away at the 48 muscle-ups. We're at the 7.5-minute mark, 18-minute time cap. So there's going to be a lot of time for the women to work on the muscle-ups as all of them seem to be moving the sled fairly well.
Team 4 in lane 4, Zach's and JR team, the girls were doing 2 flips apiece and then alternating.
If you saw, I'm not sure if you could see on camera there, but that Zach's JR team sent one of their athletes to the rings already. So Jessica's going to finish up the flips while Reagan chalks up her hands. The team in lane number 2, BRRH, has done the same thing. Rachel does the last flip, and she sends her teammate back down the floor. Bryn Carrick is going to get started on the ring muscle-ups for BRRH. They've maintained their lead, and Bryn's going to have a 1 muscle-up lead over Reagan Hooks. And actually, lane number 1, Camo Athletics, Laura Olson up on the ring. So all 3 of the top 3 teams here are within 2 ring muscle-ups. I talked to Reagan Hooks yesterday. She's 5'11", Sevan, but actually says that she loves high school gymnastics. She did have a struggle on the handstand walk yesterday that cost her team a few points, but she said she's eager to show her capacity on the rings today.
This is the lady in lane 4 who just put the riser down for her teammate.
Yeah, so there are actually all 3 of these, well, especially lanes 1 and 4, there's a big height discrepancy between their taller and shorter female athletes. So I expect them to be adding and taking risers away. The men had 48 ring muscle-ups. Eric Utley is about to play a round of disc golf. That is absolutely worth mentioning. The women only have 36 ring muscle-ups to accomplish. Camo in lane number 1 got an event win this morning on the thruster ladder. They were in 4th place coming into yesterday and maybe a little bit further behind than they'd hoped to be, looking to make a move today. Obviously did that by taking the win this morning. Lauren Olson looking great on the rings there with another big set. Addie Balderson going to jump up and back her up. Both of them flexing a little with their CrossFit Games attire on. Bryn Carrick also wearing a CrossFit Games sports bra in lane number 2, which is going to help Rachel Blong up to the rings. They are the overall leaders, BRRH, coming into this one, and we're first to the rings. Hard to tell exactly where the three teams are at. We'll look to see when a judge's hand goes in the air, but it's very close between lanes 1, 2, and 4. Lane 3, Apex Performance Black, have their women on the rings. Lane 5, the Apex Predators are sending their women to the rings as well, and the men in lane number 6 still chipping away at their 48. 10 minutes have passed out of the 18 minutes on the time count. Final event of day 2 for the teams. One heat, so 6 teams, and the hand is up in lane number 1. Camel Athletics within 5 reps of potentially taking the clean sweep on day number 2. Laura Olson locks that out. 2 reps to go. Addie Balderston, 2 reps to go on the ring muscle-ups. No hands in the air in lanes 2 or 4. They were right in the mix coming to the rings. And if she locks this out, that's a clean 200. 1 rep to go, 200 points on day 2 for Camel Athletics. It's going to help them out. The points gap is going to narrow amongst those top 4, and we're basically setting up for 4 teams to be battling for 3 spots with nothing guaranteed 1 through 4 on day 3 of competition. Where the rest of the points are going to fall is going to be big. Camel Athletics would prefer to see lane 4 finish before lane 2 if possible, which would tighten the points gap even further. But BRRH gets it done. Second place on this one. They'll maintain their overall lead. So Camo takes first. They get 100 points there. BRRH second will take 90 and be the overall leaders heading into tomorrow. CrossFit Crash's team, Reagan Hooks back up on the rings. They have a few reps to go. Apex Performance Black shaking it out. Apex Predators women working on the rings as well.
What was the total number of ring muscle-ups the ladies did?
36. Both of the teams have finished underneath the 12-minute mark there. Still have 6 minutes till the time cap. I believe Crash is within 5 reps of finishing. And they're done. So third place on that one. They'll give away 20 points to Camo. So Camo will jump them by 10 points. Apex Performance Black leading currently ahead of the Apex Predators. The last 3 teams on the floor for this one are the 3 Apex teams. Women for the Apex Purple team have still been unable to do any work as the men are struggling to get through their 48 ring muscle-ups. As far as points go, Apex Performance Black, if they're able to get in, will get 60, which will keep them 10 points ahead of Camo and narrowly holding on to that second place spot. The men in Apex Purple have finished at the 13-minute mark, and the women smiling as they're getting set on their 24 flip sleds.
At this point, is it worth them even doing it in terms of, like, do they get any points?
Well, yeah, absolutely. They came here to work out. They know that they're not the top team. They're the third team from their gym that's represented, but it's an opportunity for them to get some competition reps with the flip sled and maybe some muscle-ups at the end. They'll take that for sure.
So for that reason, but from a strategic standpoint, no. But from a participation standpoint, yeah, sure.
Participation and experience, yes.
Like if this were the games and you were in third place and you knew you couldn't get any better, you would stop and save your energy for the remaining 3 workouts.
4 reps to go for Apex Performance Black. Two reps to go for Apex Performance Black. 14 minutes have passed. 4 minutes remain. Predators women also working on the floor, and the Apex Purple team halfway done with their flip sleds. 1 rep to go. Off screen, Performance Black does finish up, so they'll take fourth. 60 points for them. That'll give them 320 points heading into tomorrow. Crash team will get 70 points. They'll be at 310. Camo team will get 80 points. 100 points. They'll be at 330. And BRH will be the leaders at 360.
Time cap is 18 minutes.
2 minutes and 40 seconds to the time cap. Apex Predators women working through their set of 36 muscle ups. The Apex Purple women are on the last third.
Any minimum work requirements at this event, Brian?
No minimum work requirements, no. And I apologize to the Camo team. I think I was pronouncing the names correctly. I had just inverted which one was which.
With Balderson and Laura?
Lauren is a taller athlete.
Yeah.
Abby is the smaller one.
It was close. I watched it happen, and it was so close. I was like, no one will catch that. It was close. You were good.
No, there are people paying attention, and I'm trying to do my best. I'm calling every heat for the whole day. There's minimal transitions between. There's a ton of athletes here that I don't know. I never like doing that. It's embarrassing to do it, but I just ask for a little bit of grace.
Welcome to my world.
The Apex Purple women have made their way to the rings, so they'll see how many they can chip away at. 90 seconds to the time cap here. And I think that might have been a first ever ring muscle up. Hard to imagine that celebration otherwise.
That's pretty incredible.
Not sure who that is. If anyone from CrossFit Simpsonville knows who that was who just got their first ring muscle up on their team, let us know in the comments or stop by and let me know here at the booth. I'd love to give a shout out for that. That was awesome. Oh, wow. And I guess it doesn't matter. Both women on that team with their potentially first ring muscle up there. 30 seconds to the time cap. Most of the teams still gathered here on the turf. In fact, all the teams gathered on the turf cheering on the last four women on the floor here. 5 seconds to the time cap. This is going to bring an end to day 2 of competition for the teams. 4 events in the books, 3 scored events, I believe, remain tomorrow. BRRH will be your leaders, but it was Camo Athletics stealing the day with 2 event wins. CrossFit Crash's team, Zax and JR, as well as the Apex Performance Black team. 4 teams fighting for 3 spots on the podium tomorrow.
And Brian, it looks like someone's chiming in here. Kevin Gainey saying that lady who got her first muscle up was named Annie Lake. Her and her husband own CrossFit Simpsonville, where Apex Purple is from. Congratulations.
That is amazing. Love to see that. Congratulations to her and to the Apex community who's sent 3 teams out here. I'm sure they got a bunch of spectators on site and hopefully watching back home as well. Sevan, I'm going to pack it up and move to the other location. I'll let you close down this. Are we going to do the same stream or are we doing a different stream?
Yeah, we'll run the same stream. I'll hold down the fort. Enjoy your move.
I'll see you over there.
All right. What are we? Where are we? How are we? By the way, thanks for chiming in, Austin. I also appreciate the help. We are... It looks like Brian is moving. It looks like Brian's pulled down his camera altogether. We have 2 cameras still live. I'll let you watch those as we move around. Maybe it even looks like we have 3 cameras. Do we have 3 cameras up? Camera 1, a Hiller cam, and a Souza cam. One of those must be Brian's camera. It is 11:43 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. The team event just finished. That had an 18-minute time cap. That was team event 4. with the pig flips and the muscle ups. And now at 14:45, which is 2:45 Eastern time, and 11:45 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is 1 minute from now, male event, Masters female event 4 will be starting. That's in 1 minute with a 10-minute time cap. And there are I believe there are 2 heats of Masters female. I suspect Brian and I will be sticking around for both of those. The one of the stories we're following this weekend is in heat number 2 in the female Masters. Caroline Klutz rocking the house, doing a fantastic job. And the Masters are doing the same workouts as the individual. And Caroline may end up at the end of the weekend having the best score out of the Masters and the individual, which would be a cool story and a wake-up call for her that it's time for her to get in the mix. So this will be 2 heats at 10 minutes each, 10-minute time cap. I don't know what the workout is. Oh, maybe this is the thruster ladder. We saw the teams do something very similar to this earlier today. You start, I think, with the teams, I believe it was 20 reps. So with individuals, I think it's 10 reps. I think it goes 10, 8, 6, 4, maybe even 2. 10, 8, 6, 4, 2. Yeah, it looks like there's five different bars.
I heard this on 4 too.
And the weights will increase. I don't know what the beginning weight is. Brian will be here in a second to let us know. Happy birthday, Jamie Latimer. Thank you. Thank you, Kenneth, for the reminder. We have 1 stationary camera now. And another camera or 2 cameras will be joining us shortly. I believe they are on the move. There's no way they would leave me on here by myself with all of you guys. Asymmetric ears. At risk of saying something that's been said 100 times before, this is a beautiful gym. That's correct. By the way, the gentleman you saw walk in front of the camera right there with the camo shirt that said red on the back was the owner of this beautiful gym, Mr. J.R. Howell. Brian Friend is back.
What's up, Sevan?
Hey, five different weights, descending reps, ascending weights. That's what I told him, and that's where we're at. I passed the baton to you, my friend.
Exactly right. 10, 8, 6, 4, 2. For the women, the weights go 135, 45, 55, 65, 75. Add 10 pounds every time. You know, Masters women and Elite women will be doing the exact same thing once again, as we've seen and will see throughout the course of the weekend. This workout is called We Chase. It's a rewritten format from the snatch ladder back in 2016, I believe, that had the same structure, only with snatches instead of thrusters. This is old school methodology in CrossFit that equates bench pressing and power cleans. And some in our community believe that snatching and thrusters is relatively similar. And we actually got to see that this year in the Open, where a lot of athletes were achieving a 1 rep max thruster that was pretty close to their listed 1 rep max snatch. JR's, just changed the other, and we were in the workout. He's changed it from a thruster to a snatch, and we're going to get to see athletes take that on throughout the afternoon today.
I'm over at the local comps leaderboard. Where do I click for the Masters leaderboard? Is it? I see Elite Individual.
The green tab in the top left should have 4 options below it. One of them should be Masters Women.
Okay, in the Elite Individual. Okay, got it. Thank you. Okay, so Caroline Klutz with 285, Hannah Oakley with 188. So Caroline has a 100-point lead.
Yeah, she's been impressive as an understatement.
Mackenzie Riley in third with 171. Haley Murillo with 140 in fourth, and Holly Henderson with 111 points in fifth place.
And Haley Murillo is in this heat, the 4 women in this heat. In lane 2, Haley Murillo. Lane 3, Stacy Marino. Lane 4, Jamie Latimer. Lane 5, Amy Frith. Stacy Marino in lane, as you see on the 6th marker there in lane number 3, meaning that she is advancing her bar to the 3rd station. 6 thrusters. and 155 pounds will be the task for her. She has struggled a bit with the gymnastics so far, the handstand, the stairs, and the pegboard specifically. Getting a chance to show some of her strengths, which is with the barbell in this one. Very clean floor layout here. No questions about what needs to be accomplished. The number written on the floor is the number of reps that they need to do. It's a 10-8-6-4-2 structure, and there's a stagger of the barbells, as you see. So, because of the width of the bars for a safety perspective. Jamie Latimer, second woman in the heat to move forward to that round of 6. 10-minute time cap on this one today. Both of the events for the individuals have 10-minute time caps today. The handstand walk being behind them, thrusters ahead of them. Currently at the 4:45 mark.
Day 2, and I finally got all the leaderboards up. Just have them up ahead of time. I'm figuring it out.
It's helping me a lot. I only have one screen here. I do have the tabs that I need open, but I love having that from you. Thank you so much. After the 10, 8, and 6, there's actually a second barbell on the floor. So you see Marino stepping over the first one. She's done with that. She'll move to the preloaded one for the round of 4. And then upon advancing, if she finishes those, she'll advance it to the round of 2. And I am pretty sure Anthony Davis is here, talking to J.R. Howell across the way from me. Anthony Davis
can I see
lives in Minnesota.
Can I see it in this shot?
Yes, it's hard to see. He's behind the person in the red shirt and the other crowd of people over there. But, wow.
He would have been a great addition to this comp.
Specifically this event.
Yes.
First of 2 heats of Masters women. 8 women competing in the Masters division here this year at CrossFit Crash. These were the 5th through 8th seeded women coming into today. However, Amy Fritton and Haley Murillo, the top scores earlier today. Haley has already moved up into 4th place. She's currently in 3rd place in this heat behind Jamie Latimer and Stacey Marino, who is getting set to extend some of her thrusters at the 165-pound barbell.
Wow.
The standard written for the thrusters is very clear. Once you establish a foot position, the feet are not supposed to move. They can pop up off the ground, of course, if you reach extension, but it should not be a step forward or anything like that. That's not what a thruster is. You should also not have any rebending of the knee. That is also not what a thruster is. And so that's what we'll be looking for the judges to enforce here, as that's how the movement standards were written and briefed to the athletes and the judges.
What's the final bar weigh? 185?
175. It's clean 10-pound jumps all the way for the women, and it'll be clean 20-pound jumps all the way for the men. Good rep for Jamie Latimer there in the all black on the left.
What's the time remaining, Brian?
2 minutes, 15 seconds to the time cap. Jamie Latimer wearing her Masters Fitness Championship belt. Apropos, as she was the champion at the Masters Fitness Championship this year. Stacey Marino in the foreground there. The only athlete in heat number 1 working on the 5th or the 4th barbell. Another good rep at 165 for her.
Jamie getting herself hyped up at the 165 bar. That looks smooth. It looks like she surprised herself.
That looks like a celebration of someone who may have never done that before. If that's the case, that would be 4 for 4 workouts that Jamie Latimer has done something here at CrossFit Crash that she's never done before.
And man, she is getting herself fired up.
Stacy Marino is on the final bar, attempting the first rep at 175, and she presses it out. Good rep for her there. 1 minute to the time cap. So if I were her, I would probably take a good 30 seconds here and give myself one last attempt. She's smiling and pumping her fist. Clearly very happy with that. 50 seconds to the time cap. Murillo and Latimer working on the 165 bar. Marino with 1 rep to go on the 175 bar. Amy Fritt chipping away at the 145 bar. Amy Fritt, winner of the handstand walk obstacle this morning for the Masters women. Good rep for Murillo.
Yep, Aaron Latimer chiming in. I believe this must be her husband saying PR.
And she does it for 2. And this does
3. That's 3. 3, Brian.
Wow.
Yeah, 3.
Stacy Marino lining up. If she's able to hit this, it would be clearing the ladder. And that was easier than the first one. 9:45 for Marino. Incredible performance.
Wow.
And after what I'm sure were some frustrating moments for her already in the competition, you love to see her rebound. Happy, smiling, and able to clear the ladder there. A good rep for Murillo at the end, and the time cap will hit. Stacy Marino, 9:45, clearing the ladder in heat 1 of 2 for the Masters women on event 4 of 7. Day 2 of 3 of competition. So those women are done for the day. I have a nice opportunity to watch the other 4 women in their heat take their crack at the thruster ladder.
Let's see what that's going to do for her. Marino, what place was she in? She was in 7th. So a great victory for her. It'll be interesting to see if any other women can clear this thruster ladder. Are you expecting any more of them to clear it, Brian?
I like that gray one. That gray or green. Gray.
Ah, yes. You're asking your magic socks.
Magic socks say Caroline Klutz is probably pretty good. We'll see. I would say Holly Henderson might do well on this.
And Holly Henderson is currently in 5th place, 111 points. Another 10-minute time cap. Event 4. It's the last time the women will take the field today. Tomorrow they will have 3 scored workouts. As mentioned earlier, Caroline Klutz is sitting in first place with a 100-point lead. And she will be in lane 3, dead center. As I mentioned before, J.R. Howell's in the house. This is his beautiful gym in the camo shirt there. Looks like he's hyping up one of the judges. Andrew Hiller having a word with, maybe Andrew Hiller giving some no-rep talk to J.R. Howell. A lockout at the top of the thruster reps. Colton Mertens is currently in 74th place. You guys can go to the local comps leaderboard. Click the link. Hit results. Then go to the drop-down tab. Male Elite. They haven't updated the board yet after the 3rd event. Five different weights out on the field, going up in 10-pound increments. 10 thrusters, then 8 thrusters, then 6 thrusters, then 4 thrusters, then 2 thrusters. The 2 thrusters are at 175 in the last heat. We did have one athlete Marino clear it with 15 seconds left in the time cap. Also, Jamie Latimer PR'd her thruster. I think she hit 165 for 4. Colton's currently sitting in 8th place, but that's not with team event 3 in the calculations. I suspect he'll stay somewhere near the same spot. That's Caroline Klutz. That's the one we've been talking about all day in the center of your screen. She's on the second bar. Looks like she's going to do all, nope, not all 8 reps unbroken. I think it's 145 pounds on the bar that you have to do 8 reps.
Sorry about that. Who's looking good so far?
They all look great. They all look great. Who am I to judge? Who am I to judge?
Strong?
Oh, Caroline looks like a beast. It looks like she's breaking up her set of 8 with 145 into 2 sets of 4.
What is that shirt she's wearing?
Someone needs to ID her. How is she a Masters? That's a leader's jersey, right? Is that what you're saying? What shirt she wearing? Kenneth DeLapp, an oldie but goodie thruster. I barely know her. Thank you. Thank you to Kenneth for the jokes, and thank you to GoWad for the loot to help us pull off this presentation to you guys today. Thank you to CA Peptides for making my skin look so beautiful. Here we go. 155. Caroline Lutz is on the 155. Also over there, staying up with Caroline. Klutz. Staying with Caroline. No Brian here to keep me in check. Caroline Klutz. Also over there is Mackenzie Riley. Also, you could call her Riley McKenzie. It doesn't matter. 2 first names. But she's kicking ass too. She's 2 lanes to the left of Miss Klutz. Also next to Caroline Klutz is Hannah Oakley. Is that Hannah Oakley? No, sorry. I apologize. Holly Henderson. I can't tell what bar Holly Henderson's on. Oh, okay. So Holly Henderson's on the 155-pound bar. And Caroline Klutz moves up to the 165-pound bar, which she's required to thruster 4 times. In order to make it to the final bar. Caroline's taking a substantial rest. Maybe Brian will tell us, but it looks like it's probably like maybe even a minute, which makes me think she has this thing planned out. Brian, we got a good race here. Mackenzie Riley McKenzie, however you'd like to address her, is keeping pressure on Miss Klutz.
4 minutes of the 10-minute time cap has elapsed. Both Riley and Klutz are on the second barbell that's out on the floor. It's the 4th different weight that they have to go to. That barbell weighs 165. They'll have to roll it forward to 175 for the last one.
Yes, they are paying, Brian. I saw them give him 2 bags of Oreo cookies yesterday and a bottle of whiskey.
I know, it's really a bummer. I wanted 2 Dave Castro olive oil things, but they said way out of the budget.
Way out of the budget.
4:45 on the clock as Klutz advances to the final bar. She'll add 10 last pounds. 175 is the final weight for the women. We saw Stacy Marino clear the ladder in 9:45. 5 minutes to go until then. Based on what we've seen so far from Klutz in every event and on this ladder, that should not be an issue. However, it is a heavy weight. So for her, this is a matter of just making sure she's ready and committing to each rep. She's done pretty much 2 sets on every bar. We'll see if she goes for a single or a double here. What's the 5:15 mark? She'll have 4 minutes and 30 seconds to get 1 more rep, and if she does, that'll be another event win for Klutz.
In the previous heat, the time was 9:45. 9:45. So it appears she is going to beat that time. But in our mind also, and I wonder if in hers, she's also competing with the individual.
I would have to say at this point, she absolutely is. We haven't run the calculations exactly, but it's seems likely that she would be the overall leader in that division. 543. Klutz with another event win amongst individual masters here. And I mentioned individual masters because this is the first individual competition she's ever done. And she didn't really know how good she would necessarily do on her own. Even after the one event yesterday, she was having the thought that maybe she should have tried in the elite division. And through 4 events, she looks like she absolutely would be in that last heat and probably potentially even winning outright. Big, strong rep there for Mackenzie Riley. She'll have 1 rep to go at the 6:15 mark. While Riley's resting between her final 2 reps, Hannah Oakley working on her set of 4 at 165. Holly Henderson working on the same barbell. 6:35 on the clock. 3 minutes and change till the time cap. Riley might be done already. Did you see her do 2 reps, Sevan?
She did. I saw her do her last rep, and then I saw her kind of pop her shirt, pop her collar, yo.
Oh, my bad there. So Riley is
look at
done.
me.
She'll take second place on this one.
I think you called the time. You said 6:15 when she finished it, I thought. I wrote down 6:15, Riley McKenzie. I thought I heard you say that.
6:15, Riley McKenzie Riley. Excellent job. Holly Henderson.
Did you call it? Did you call it? That makes me feel better if your brain
I
slipping a little.
I did call the time, but I think I said that it was one of 2.
Oh, okay.
Holly Henderson has loaded her final barbell. She has 2 reps to go at 175. We're at the 7:30 mark, so she has 2 minutes and change before the top time from the previous heat. She gets 1 rep done there at the 7:30 mark. Hannah Oakley gets another rep at the 165 mark. $757 for Henderson, 3rd place in the heat, 3rd place in the division. Oakley locks out her 4th rep at 165, and she'll roll it forward at the 8:10 mark, so less than 2 minutes. She needs to add her weights, and 2 reps remaining. If she does them as singles, it's going to be very tight. Haven't seen anyone go for a double on that bar yet that I've seen.
Brian, the blue shirts, are those equipment people, and the red shirts are the judges? I haven't seen the blue shirts before today.
Exactly right.
Okay. Look at JR.
Eight 8:40 on the clock. Good rep there for Oakley.
8 what on the clock? 8:40?
8:55 right now. 1 minute, 5 seconds to the time cap. 45 seconds until Marino's time from the previous heat. All 3 of the other women in this heat have finished. She had to more or less make a decision here if she wants to give it one good effort and saves time in case she misses it, or take a little extra time and have only 1 attempt. 9:20 on the clock. Hannah Oakley lining up for her last rep of the thruster ladder, unable to get it. And because of that decision, she does have time remaining. Obviously, she expended energy on that failed attempt. 25 seconds to go. $15 seconds to the cap. Oakley back on the bar. Full effort, but unable to get it. She'll come up 1 rep short, and that'll do it for Masters Women Day number 2. Caroline Klutz taking the win yet again. Mackenzie Riley not too far behind her, 2nd place, and Holly Henderson 3rd in the heat, 3rd in the event.
Man, oh man, she's doing it, Caroline Klutz. What is event? Do you know event 5 off the top of your head, Brian?
Yeah, it's the 100s chipper. 100 toes to bar on the trapeze bar, 100 dual kettlebell hang snatch, 100 box jump overs, 4 step down, 100 dual kettlebell squats.
And that's what we'll see Caroline Klutz do that tomorrow.
Yep.
It looks like they're coming out of the corral and they've already taken the floor.
They have indeed. There will be 5 heats of women in the elite division. The first one is set to start 2 minutes from now. The fourth one is set to start about 40 minutes after that. If you want to go do something else.
Oh yeah. There's an assault bike that needs warming up.
Awesome.
I'm gonna switch you over here to the Hiller cam. And we're gonna run 3 heats of masters. Individual elite women.
Okay.
And then I will. You do got it. You're gonna run this, huh? Good on you. You the man.
Yeah.
And I'll see you back here for what would be your time is 3:50, I believe. That's in 40 minutes.
I'll see you then.
Okay. I'll probably come a few minutes early just to say hi to you.
Love that.
Okay. Bye.
First of 5 heats for the individual women taking on event 4. This is a re-chase, the thruster ladder, rewritten from the 2016 regional event 1, which was the exact same rep scheme, 10-8-6-4-2, the exact same weights, 135, adding 10 pounds all the way up to 175. Back then they did a snatch. Now they're doing a thruster. There's this pervasive idea that similarly to the clean and the bench press, the snatch and the thruster at a maximum load might be relatively similar. And so they are putting that to the test by rewriting the same test with a different movement. The women on your screen, in this shot, on the far side of the floor is lane 1. That is Lexi Bianchi. Lane 2 is Mariah Burkhardt. Lane 3, AJ Hutchinson. Lane 4, Annalise Moore. Lane 5, Aaliyah Miller. And lane 6, Grace Lockman. The seating for this was done based on yesterday's events. There have been some dramatic changes on the leaderboard following the handstand walking event this morning. Lexi Bianchi was 5th this morning on the handstand walk. She earned 86 points for that. Bumped it all the way up to 24th. Annalise Moore had taken 12th on that this morning for 63 points. She's moved up into 25th place. Aaliyah Miller, the leader on the 4, she's already on the round of 6. Barbells go from 135 to 145 to 155. Athletes must change their weight for each of those on the same bar. Aaliyah Miller working on the 155 barbell there, looking extremely strong with it. She had one of the strongest snatches in the semifinal this year, so we would expect her to do well with the thruster. If you go to the Heat 1 app, you can see a posted study that Tyler Watkins did of the top 10 thruster weights in the field. After that third bar, you can just walk forward to the fourth weight, which is on a second barbell waiting for you. That is 165 pounds. Aaliyah Miller standing at that bar and looking at the clock. The clock is at 2:55. I believe at the 3-minute mark, she's going to pick this up. She has 4 reps at this weight, and she does pick it up at exactly the 3-minute mark. 2:04 done for Miller. Going to drop it after. Lane number 2, Mariah Burkhard, also on the set of 4. Miller failing a rep there. Lexi and AJ on the round of 8. Annalise and Grace on the round of 6. Miller clears the 165 bar at the 4-minute mark. So 1 minute for those 4 reps. 2 reps to go, so I have to add some weight. It'll be 2 reps at 175. Looking to establish an early time to beat. Mariah also advancing to the 175 bar. 4:35 on the clock. Miller's got her hands on the bar. 2 reps at 175 remaining. That's 1. That's 2. 4:49 for Miller. Better than Caroline Klutz's 5:43. And that will be a time for the rest of the remaining heats of the women will be coming to chase down. No rep for Burkhard there. Past the halfway point of this one. Lexi has advanced to the round of 6. AJ has advanced to the round of 6. Grace and Annalise on the round of 6. So Miller done. Burkhard, she's done at the 5:22 mark. Great performance from Mariah. The other women in this heat still working on that round of 6.
On that time.
3 minutes till the time cap. Other 4 women on the floor. Lola Bianchi, Hutchinson, Moore, and Lochner all working on the set of 4. So 165 pounds. 4 reps demanded at that. Flowed. If they're able to clear it, they'll advance to the final bar of 175. Annalise Moore, the first to finish amongst those four. She'll advance and load to 175. Good rep for Cola Bianchi. Good rep for Lochner. Just off camera, James Sprague coaching Grace Lochner as he has been throughout the weekend. Besides being an elite athlete, James Sprague also does coach a few athletes in this sport. 2 minutes to the time cap. AJ Hutchinson with a good rep in the middle of the floor at 165. Annalise Moore in the white and black stepping up for her final 2 reps at 175. Grace Lochner finishing the reps at 165. She'll advance and load her bar. 90 seconds to the time cap. A miss in the middle of the floor there for Hutchinson. Lochner with a rep at 175. Lexi Colabianchi finishes the set at 6. 25 seconds to go. Moore and Lochner are going to give one last attempt here at the 175 bar. Hutchinson at 165. Lochner locks it out. 9:51 for Lochner. Moore locks it out. So 3 finishers and Annalise Moore within 1 rep there. Heat 1 of 5 for the elite women event 4. Aaliyah Miller stopping by the booth to tell us that she loves that thruster ladder and happy to put a good performance out there for you guys. Matthew Murphy, we are aware of that situation. Scoring is addressing it currently. Thank you for helping us out there. Should be corrected in a couple of minutes. Aaliyah Miller, 4:49, one of 3 finishers in that heat. And Mariah Burkhardt not far behind at 5:22. Those will be the early times to beat. Lane Heat 2 of women taking the floor for event 4. Day 2 of competition here at the Crash Crucible 2023. This is the retour If this rep scheme and load looks familiar to you, you might have been around back in 2016 for Regionals Event 1, which saw the exact same scheme, 10-8-6-4-2, at the exact same loads, 135 up to 175 by 10 pounds, only with a snatch. Far right side of the floor is lane number 1. That's Klista Schnoffer. She may be quite impressive on this one. Lindsay Derby in lane 2, Hannah Hardy in lane 3, Bree Dunbar in lane 4, Klista Lang in lane 5, and Celine Gonzalez in lane 6. Lanes 1 through 4, all very strong and could have something to say about that time from Aaliyah Miller. 10 reps at 135 to get things started. Calista Lang, lane number 5, the first to advance her bar. Shortly after her, Lindsay Derby, Calista Schnoffer, Bree Dunbar, and Hannah Hardy. Celine Gonzalez, 1 rep to go on the far left side of your screen. Once she hits that, all of the women will have advanced to the round of 8, which is 145. Maybe worth mentioning Gonzalez listed at 102 pounds. So that first bar is already 33 pounds over her body weight. Lang and Schnoffer, first 2 to get to work on the round of 8. Calista Lang looking very good in the overhead position. Solid lockout, good press out there in the red pants and tie-dye gray top. Far right of your screen in the purple is Lindsay Derby. Outside of her, just off camera, is Calista Schnoffer. She also got a good set underway over round of 4. Lang, Hardy, and Derby have all advanced to the round of 6. That's 155. Derby in the pink top first to get reps underway. This is the last load at this bar. Then they'll advance to the second preloaded bar. Calista Lang in the red and gray, looking very strong again here. 3 solid reps for her. 6 reps required at 155 for the women. Schnoffner and Dunbar rolling their bars forward to join the other 3 women at that 155 bar. Derby in the pink sports bra locking out a couple good reps. Hardy in the green in the middle of the floor getting some reps at 155. Dunbar in the yellow doing the same as Calista Lang, 1 rep away from finishing the bar at 155. Oh, excuse me, she's got 1 rep remaining at 155. 3 minutes, 30 seconds have passed. All the women in heat here 2 here are chasing Aaliyah Miller, 449. And Lang does lock that out at the 345 mark, so 6 reps to go. She'll leave that bar behind her and advance to the preloaded one at 165. Hannah Hardy will step forward to the 165 barbell, so she's emerged as second in this heat. Lindsay Derby, actually the first one to get reps. She got 1 rep at the 165 bar. Calista Lang picking it up now. There's 1 and 2 good reps for Lang. Hardy with a good rep. So it's Lang, Hardy, and Derby on the 165 bar. Bree Dunbar in the yellow. She's advancing to the same bar. Pretty tight heat here in heat 2. 4:40 on the clock. 4:49 for Miller is going to stand through this heat. And Derby rolling her bar forward. She'll load it to the final weight, 175 for 2 reps. Dunbar getting some reps, 1 rep at 165. Lang getting to work at the 165 bar again. That's going to be a no rep for the foot shuffle. Once the feet establish a position you cannot dig in, everyone knows what a thruster is. Derby in the pink and black, just on the right of your screen, getting to the last barbell, 175, 2 reps to go here. Aaliyah Miller's time has passed, and now Mariah Burkhardt's time has passed. 1 good rep for Derby. And that's going to be a miss on the second one. Gambled and did not pay off. Lang will roll her bar forward. Hardy rolls her bar forward. Dunbar getting to work on the 165 bar. Schnaufer still stuck on the 155 bar. Celine Gonzalez also on the 155 bar. 5:45 has passed. 10-minute time cap for this one. Derby going to go for it again, and she gets it. 5:52 for Lindsay Derby. 4th fastest time we've seen so far today. Excuse me, 3rd fastest time so far today, and best in this heat. Dunbar advances to the 175 bar. Hardy with the good rep there. Lang locks it out. 1 rep to go for her. Hardy final rep, 6:40. Second finisher in the heat. Dunbar getting some motivation from the crowd. Schnaufer working on the 165 bar. Her feet are going to move. No rep for her. Gonzalez going for a rep at 155. Her feet will move. No rep for her. Lang on her last rep. Dunbar gets it done at 7 minutes. Lang 7:01. Schnaufer on screen there, working away at the 165 bar. 1 minute to the time cap. Schnaufer and Gonzalez, opposite sides of the floor. The last 2 women working in heat 2 of 5 for the elite individuals. Maria Miller, 4:49. Heat number 1 was the best time we saw. Lindsay Derby, 5:52, the top time in this heat. Schnaufer stepping back up to the bar again with 40 seconds to go. Good rep for Schnaufer. She's going to move forward to the 175 bar. Don't think she'll have time to make any attempts there, but nearly finishing the ladder. Sorry, Ken, I muted that while I was having a conversation with JR, trying to leave the feed open so that you can have some audio. I know it's weird when it's completely silent. And that'll be the time cap for women's heat number 2. I'm about to turn it on. I can do this. Hold on.
No. Issues to go level 1 in June last weekend. I just didn't want to be like.
Heat 3 of 5, elite female event 4 of 7. Last event on day 2 of competition here. We got the thruster ladder, rewritten version of the snatch ladder, same weights, same rep scheme, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2. Start at 135, build to 175 by 10. Right to left on your screen, lane 1 is going to be Ellie Hiller, lane 2, Chloe Wilson. She came into the day in 15th place. She's bumped all the way up to 7th. Lane 3, Danielle Dunlap. Lane 4, Ashley Shoemaker. Lane 5, Sydney Moskowitz. Lane 6, Emily Meyer.
My bartending days.
Time to beat is Aaliyah Miller. I mentioned that if you could head over to the Heat 1 app, you might be able to see top 10 thrusters in the field that Tyler Watkins aggregated prior to the competition when he saw this workout announced. Aaliyah Miller actually had the top score there, 208 listed. Amanda Fisher, 207. Lindsay Derby, who we just saw finish, was listed at 206. Derby with the third best time so far. Mariah Burkhart shows up 7th on that list, but she's got the second best time so far. I mention all this because Sydney Moskowitz, Ashley Shoemaker, and Chloe Wilson, who are all in this heat, are also amongst the top 10 heaviest thruster coming in to the competition. So far, women on this list have proved to do very well with the ladder, not surprisingly. So we could expect potentially a similar outcome from Wilson, Moskowitz, and Shoemaker. Chloe Wilson, lane 2. She's wearing a purplish pink sports bra and black pants. Is the first to advance to the 155 bar. That's a third weight. Lane 1, Ellie Hiller, working on her set of 8 as Wilson loads up for the set of 6. All of the women in this heat working on the set of 8 other than Wilson. That's the 155 mark. Wilson locking out 2 of those 6 reps. And now 3. Going for 4. 3 racks in the front rack. 5. 1 more to go at the 6 set of 6 for Wilson. She's going to move her feet. That's a no rep. She's got 1 rep to go. Shoemaker has advanced in lane number 4 to the same bar. Knee sleeves, black shorts, green top, getting set to start there. That's 1 for Shoemaker. Right now it's Wilson and Shoemaker, top 2 in the heat. The only 2 athletes at the 155 bar currently. The rest of the women in the heat working on that 145 bar for heat. Wilson with her last rep at 155. That's good. She'll step over the bar and move forward to a preloaded 165-pound barbell at the 3-minute mark. 4 reps at 165, 2 reps at 175. All that remain for Chloe Wilson. Danielle Dunlap has advanced. Emily Meyer have advanced to the 155 bar where they'll join Shoemaker. Moskovitz with 2 reps to go at 145. Ellie Hiller working on the 145 bar. Moskovitz will advance to 155 as Wilson steps up to her 165-pound barbell. She's 1 bar ahead of the rest of the women in the field right now. 1 good rep for her. Far side of the screen in the pink top, purple pants. Foot shuffle there, no rep. Actually, Shoemaker advances to the 165 bar, so it continues to be Wilson and then Shoemaker in the heat. All women are still chasing Aaliyah Miller at 449. Aaliyah Miller with the heaviest listed thruster coming into the competition. Dunlap failed the rep there. Wilson goes for another as Shoemaker goes for 1. Wilson done with the 165 bar. She'll advance to 175. She'll have to load that up at the 410 mark. Unlikely to catch Miller. Mariah Burkhardt, also in Heat 1, had a 5:23 time. Lindsay Derby, third best we've seen so far at 5:52. Shoemaker, middle of screen there. Another good rep at 165. The other 4 women all still working on the 155. Chloe Wilson strapping up right side of screen. She's got 2 reps remaining, 4:45 on the clock. So Miller's time of 4:49 will stand. What's 1 good rep for Wilson? And that's 2, 4:55. So 6 seconds slower than Miller. 3 no reps for her in that execution. That may have cost her the best time so far. However, only 6 seconds away from Miller will still yield a great score, especially in the performance-based scoring system. As she finishes up, Shoemaker moves forward and loads her bar to 175. She's been second in this heat for most of it. Meyer has now passed the other 3 as she's the 3rd in the heat to start working on her 4 reps at 165. Wilson done at 4:55. Second best we've seen so far. Shoemaker with a good rep at 175. Burkhardt, his time of 5:22 has passed. We're at 5:42 on the clock. Lindsay Derby had finished at 5:52. Moskovitz advancing to the 165 bar where she'll join Meyer. You see her in the all black there in the middle of the screen. Meyer on the far left of your screen, getting another good rep at 165. Shoemaker power cleans up to the front rack position. Last rep here, if she can get it, 6:01 for Shoemaker. As we mentioned at the start of the heat, she was in that top 10 in terms of listed thrusters coming in, and she'll join Wilson, Derby, Burkhardt, and Miller, who have backed up that 1 rep max with a good performance in the thruster ladder. Of the remaining women on the floor, Moskovitz and Meyer are the 2 working on the left side of your screen on the 165 bar. On the right side of your screen, Dunlap, in the middle of the screen, Dunlap in the Red, white, and blue star shorts is getting ready for 165 as Ellie Hiller clears the 155, and she'll move forward to join Dunlap. Yes, Jeremy Eatwell. She has a black shirt, black shorts, black knee sleeves, black lifters on. What else would you like me to describe her outfit as? Emily Meyer finishes her last rep at 165. She'll roll the bar forward. Oh, she'll try to. She bumps into Moskowitz's bar there. That's the reason for the stagger. She'll load it up with 3 minutes to go. So Meyer loading up 175. Moskowitz going for another rep at 165. She gets that, and she's going to go for the double. This would be her final rep. She gets it. Moskowitz also amongst the top 10 listed thrusters coming in. And she'll roll it forward to join Meyer at the 175 bar. 2.5 minutes to the time cap. Hiller gets a rep at 165. Emily Meyer, closest to us on the screen, very close to the screen. First attempt at 175. That's one good rep. 1 rep to go. 2 minutes and 10 seconds to the cap. Danielle Dunlap locks out a rep at 165. Ellie Hiller attempting another one far side of the screen, and she gets it. Ellie Hiller has looked better and better as she's gone. Dunlap rolling the bar forward to the 175 mark, where she'll load it up. Moskowitz lining up for her first attempt at 175 as Meyer is lining up for her second, which would be her final. Meyer locks it out at the 8:19 mark. Moskowitz is going to go for a second rep, and she gets it at 8:23. Four finishers in this one. Dunlap and Hiller remain on the floor. Dunlap has loaded the bar to 175. Hiller is doing that right now. 1 minute, 20 seconds to the cap. Dunlap stepping up to the bar at 175. One good rep, 1 minute to the time cap. So 1 rep remains for Dunlap. 2 reps remain for Hiller. Daniel Dunlap, coached by Taylor Self. You might see his bald head there on the right side of the screen, bending over and encouraging her. Hiller bouncing out of the bottom, unable to get it at 175. Hiller amongst the smaller and lighter athletes in the field. Very impressive with the barbell so far on this one. That's a heavyweight, well above her body weight. Dunlap, with 30 seconds to go, is going to line up. If she's able to hit this, she'll clear the ladder. Gets it at the 9:33 mark, and she's going to walk forward and celebrate with her coach a little bit. High five and encouragement there from Taylor Self. Hiller, 2 reps remaining, 15 seconds on the clock. She'll probably give one more go at 175. If unable to hit it, she'll match Annalise Moore from the first heat. Or if she does hit it, she'll match Moore. Otherwise, she'll be 1 rep behind her. No, that's not going to count. And so she'll have the same score that Calista Schnaufner had in the previous heat. 3 heats down, 2 to go. I believe Sevan will be back shortly.
Then I come back. How close are we to those final heats?
Very close, very close, very close. Don't say anything that's going to get you canceled. I can hear you, Taylor. I can hear you on Brian's mic. Woo! We're ready, baby. We're ready. Someone fill me in before Brian gets back. Tell me in the comments. Molo, please listen. The CrossFit Games commentary team needs to take notes. Listen. It's not just the CrossFit Games commentary. CrossFit Games is as good as anyone out there. I've been listening to a lot of ESPN football broadcasting lately. It can't even touch Brian. Not even close. If I'm anybody in any sport, I grab this dude. I put him on on the payroll for a year and let him get caught up on any sport he'll take to the next level. He's just got it. He learns the people's names. He learns the nuances of the sport. He immerses himself in it, and he can just take it to the next level. And it's crazy radio quality. And for people who like professional, this dude does not cross the line. He stays on the professional side of the fence. And that's it. That's my final word. He's almost too good for CrossFit. Brian, hey, welcome back to the show. No, welcome me back to the show. Sorry,
Appreciate all those kind words, Sevan.
It's just observation. It's not even kind. It just is what it is. What it is.
4th of 5 heat for the elite women, lining up to take on the 4th of 7 tests on the weekend. This is the last time that these women will take the floor today. The lanes go from right to left, 1 through 6. In this heat, we have CJ Wilkening, lane 2, Hannah Black, lane 3, Brianna Wallen, lane 4, Emily B. Roth, lane 5, Mary Helen Saunders, lane 6, Madeline Helms.
Brian, tell me what's the new record? What's the fastest time? Where's Caroline? How's Caroline Klutz doing? Her record?
Well, her time has been beaten already. It was beaten in the very first heat by Aaliyah Miller, wearing a Paper Street Coffee shirt for extra added strength on the thruster ladder. It turns out she didn't really need it. She comes in with the heaviest thruster amongst all the women in the field anyway. No one's been able to track that down yet, but Chloe Wilson was close, 6 seconds behind at 4:55.
So Aaliyah Miller, who Brian picked to be one of the top athletes here, finally pulling one through for Brian to make him look like he knows what he's talking about, got a 4:49. And then Chloe Miller, who is also one of Brian's top picks, also letting you know, hey, I may be not quite as fit as I used to be because it's the off season, but I'm strong as an ox still, and comes in with a 4:55.
First athlete in this heat to roll their bar forward is Emily B. Roth. She's in lane 4. Hannah Black, a few seconds behind her, doing the same in lane number 2.
We got all the cameras back up. We got the Sousa cam going places that no other cameraman is brave enough to go.
Sevan, I learned something during the stream while you were away.
Tell me.
Jeremy Eat World is triggered by a very specific word.
Oh, tell me, please.
It's a color.
Oh. Blue.
It's Hannah's last name.
Hannah Black.
There was a woman on the floor who was wearing black shirt, black shorts, black knee sleeves, and black shoes. I said she was wearing all black, and he didn't like it because she also happened to have dark-colored skin.
I just said you don't cross the line. Boy, you walk close to it. The best name that should trigger no one of all the competitors here, I'm going to tell you today, right now, day 2. I normally don't crown the best name until day 3. Is not Hannah Black. That's close. That's second. Do you know who it is, Brian?
Chad Cackert.
Chad Cackert. Brian and I did not talk before this. He had no idea this was coming on. It is Chad Cackert. In the lead now, already at the 6 reps. The ever impressive
Emily B. Roth and Hannah Black are the only 2 women at that barbell. Emily B. Roth in camera there, thanks to Matthew Souza, with the first to get her hands on it. Hannah Black to the right is going to be 2 reps behind her, attempting the same bar, 6 reps at 155. There is Black, and you can see both of them going rep for rep. B. Roth drops it. Black continuing to power through. He won't do all 6 in one set, so both of them will need at least 2 sets to finish the bar at 155. The other 4 athletes in the field still working on their sets of 8.
Brian, did you talk to any...
With the failed rep, they're opening the door for Hannah to potentially take the lead.
Brian, did you talk to any of these ladies ahead of time and they're like, yeah, this is going to be no problem. I'm going to crush this. Did you get any of that posturing from Hannah Black, a little confidence?
I haven't actually had a chance to talk to Hannah at all. I would expect her to do well on this. Aaliyah Miller did come over after setting the top time in Heat 1, which is still remained the top time, and said, it's about time I put a good performance out there. And she was like, you know what, I'm still here to fight, and I'm still going to come back and fight tomorrow. But a lot of it's a strength test. We have data on 1-rep max thrusters thanks to the CrossFit Open last year, and so this was by far, I would say, the easiest event to project of any of them this weekend. Hannah Black with 165 on the bar. She has 4 reps to accomplish here. She's going to do it in at least 2 sets. Emily Buroff, 2 lanes over from her, also on the 165 barbell.
Jamie Wilson, Chloe Wilson, not Williams. Yeah, Brian would never do that. Love you, Chloe's mama. Fair enough. Fair enough. That's all me. That's all me.
Hannah Black finishing up 4 reps at 165, maintaining the lead that she got after Emily Buroff failed a rep at 155. Buroff still second in the heat, working on the 165 bar. The other 4 women in the heat, Wilkening, Wallen, Saunders, and Helms, all with 155 on the bar.
I'm going to predict that Hannah Black does both of these unbroken. Where are we on time? Can she set the record?
4:15 on the clock currently, 4:49 the time she needs to beat. The weight is loaded on the bar, as you see there. She's shaking it out. If she does a set of 2, she can take down the time from Miller and best the time from Wilson.
One. That looked like that wasn't intentional, that put down. That looked like that was not intentional. It looked like the bar rolled off the rack as she went for her second rep. What's the time, Brian?
4:45. Locks it out at 4:47, and that will be the new time to beat, 2 seconds faster than Aaliyah Miller. Hannah Black, despite what I would agree with you, is not an intentional drop there. Really quick turnaround and still establishes the top time. So 4:47, 4:49, 4:55, 3 very competitive times from 3 very strong women, all 3 of whom were in the top 20 at their semifinal this past year. Emily Buroff lining up at the 175 bar. She gets a good rep there. She's going to go for 2. Nope. Feet move. That's a no rep. 5:25 on the clock currently. She has 1 rep remaining. Wallen in lane number 3, on her right, in the pink shorts, has 165 on the bar.
Let's see if Brianna Wallen can capitalize on this error that Emily Buroff made.
Now she's on the bar behind her. She's several reps behind. Buroff going to give it another go. We know she's already done 1, and there's 2. 5:49 for Buroff. Another solid performance for her.
And throwing the bar down with some aggression, some celebration. Why can't you move the feet, Brian? Who cares if you move the feet? Why is that a rule? Why has J.R. Howell made that a rule at the Crash Crucible?
Everyone knows what a thruster is, Sevan.
Right, except for me. Would that be a rule if you were in charge of the competition? Would you have put that in place? You can't move your feet.
I like the standards that JR has written for the thruster more than the standards that were enforced for the thruster in the open. Yes, Mary Helen Saunders in the middle of the screen there with her first rep at 165. Brianna Wallen right side of the screen, pink shorts, going for another rep at the same weight. She gets it. Far right side of the screen, Wilkening is working on her first attempt at 165, and off camera, just on the left in the white sports. Or white tank top, I guess. Madeline Helms also approaching the 165 bar. Wallen, the only remaining athlete who's rolled it forward to the 175 bar. She's loading that up as Saunders attempts a rep there in the all black. She gets it. Helms got one in the white tank top as well. And far side of the floor, Wilkening has her hands on the bar. She's going to attempt another rep at 165. 3 minutes to the time cap. Wilkening gets a good rep. Nice job catching that one there, Souza.
Brianna Wallen in the lead, 2 reps left in the lead, by meaning the ladies still left on the floor. Our frame rate is so bad. To me, it didn't look like she locked out her last rep, but clearly she did.
Wallen's good rep at 175. Several of the other ladies' good reps at 165. 1 rep remaining for Wallen. 2.5 minutes to the time cap.
I don't like that bar in the lane next to Brianna Wallen. That needs to be moved. The cockeyed bar, the Cackert bar.
Saunders, another good rep at 165. She'll roll it forward to 175. Wallen fights it and presses it out. 7:59 for Wallen. She's ecstatic about that. What a great fight there at the end. That's what a thruster is supposed to look like at a heavy load. Wilkening rolling her bar forward to 175. So Wilkening in lane 1, Saunders in lane 5, both loading to 175, 1:45 until the time cap. Lane number 6, Madeline Helms, still working on the 165 bar. We've already had 3 women finish, including Hannah Black. New time to beat at 4:47, 2 seconds faster than the previous time to beat from Malia Miller. Saunders attempting a 175, and she gets one with 1:25 to the cap. 1 rep to go for Saunders. Wilkening, far side of the floor with her hands on the bar. She's underneath it. Feet barely shuffle forward. No rep for Wilkening. One minute till the cap. 1 rep remaining for Mary Helen Saunders. She's underneath the load here. We're going to get in the front rack first.
Brianna Whalen came into this in 8th place with 186 points. She's the one I was telling you guys that's basically in a 5-way tie from 183 to 189 points.
Another close no rep for Wilkening.
The longer these ladies stay on the floor using this performance-based scoring, the better it is for Brianna to move up the ranks.
Brianna Wallen was at the Masters Fitness Championship. Talked to her there. Actually, her partner was competing. It's usually the other way around. She's less than a year outside of giving birth to her child.
Brianna is?
Yeah. Saunders, and she'll get the good rep. 9:44 clears the ladder just underneath the time cap. Helms misses there just on the left side of the screen. Last attempt for Wilkening, far side of the floor. 3 seconds to time cap. She got the rep. It was after the time cap. That's the 4th of 5 heats for the women done.
What a great logo for GoWad. Look at that. Look at GoWad on the top, in the middle, on the back wall there, and then down on the bottom. Which reminds me, I have a message from GoWad, specifically made for you guys. GoWad was born in a CrossFit affiliate and designed for the community. GoWad, the leading mobility app, was created to allow every athlete to mobilize in a personalized way. Download the app for free. J.R. Howell has a great relationship with pretty much everyone in the entire community. He reached out to the GoWad people. They said, yeah, we'd love to support anything you do over at CrossFit Crash. You're an example of the cure for the world's most vexing problem and top performance athletes like Jason Hopper. And this is his 4th year doing this event, the Crash Crucible. He has the sister event, Crash Crescendo, in the middle of the year. Is that exactly 6 months from now, Brian?
April.
And earlier you guys were saying, asking if Brian gets paid. To be completely frank, it's an honor for all of us and any of us to be asked to participate in anything JR does. He always goes above and beyond. That's not smoke I'm blowing up your ass. I'll tell you for an example. None of us asked for our banners to be up there, and then we show up on the scene and our banners are up there. Well, you even see in the back, Be Friendly Fitness next to Barbell Spin back there on the wall. None of us ask for any of that stuff, and JR always provides, and there's like 10 things like that. So thank you, JR, for letting us participate, and thank you, GoWad, for jumping in and throwing loot at this to make this happen.
Did get clarification that the standard is the bar has to clear the floor before the 10-minute mark, so that last rep by Wilkening did count. Comes up 1 rep short of clearing the ladder, and 1 rep ahead of Madeline Helms. Last heat of women is on the floor for the final event of the day. The thruster ladder. On the right side of the screen is lane number 1. It's Allison Wynn. Lane 2, Lindsay Lane. Lane 3, overall leader Lydia Fish. Lane 4, Ariel Saunders. Lane 5, Emma Harving. And lane 6, Amanda Fisher.
Once again, and Brian, correct me if I'm wrong, a very smart choice by J.R. Howell to judge the time in which the you can make your last lift being when the bar comes off the ground. So if it's 9:59 and the bar comes off the ground and you're still not locked out until 10:05, it's a good lift. Smart judging protocol, correct, Brian?
In this format, I like that. In lifting windows or ladders where there's like 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, I do not like that.
And why is that? Doesn't it make it easier to judge when the bar's coming off the ground as opposed to when it's locked out?
What I should say is if you're going to have that be the rule, then I would give a longer than 10-second transition window, especially if it's a clean and jerk. Because a clean and jerk takes so much time, and what you end up doing is having bleed over from one athlete or one group of athletes to the other.
Barry McCockiner, I think this is a question. I don't think this is a statement. Brian, would you share? Oh, Sevan, would you share a towel with Brian? It's questions like this and other questions that I will be answering in the post show tomorrow. Stay tuned.
Now, Sevan, Heat 1 app and Tyler Watkins posted a list of the top 10 thrusters amongst the women in this field. Most of them did the Open this year, and so we have pretty accurate data on that. Of the women who've already gone, Aaliyah Miller had the highest lift. She was the second fastest we've seen. Lindsay Derby, Hannah Black, Sydney Moskowitz, Ashley Shoemaker, Mariah Burkhead, and Chloe Wilson, and Emily B. Roth have all also cleared the ladder in that list. Amanda Fisher, who is the first to advance her bar forward here, and Allison Wynn are the other two women on that list who are remaining in this heat. So we might be looking at lane 6, Amanda Fisher, and lane 1, Allison Wynn, opposite sides of the floor to have some good performances here.
I tried to pull something up, but it was 3 days old. I tried. I want you to know I tried from Heat 1 app. Is there a URL for that? Or is that strictly an app form, that list that Tyler's made?
Amanda Fisher rolling the bar forward to the round of 6 at the minute 30 mark. Faster, really, than we've seen anyone else get through those first 2 rounds. Lane 5, Emma Harving, joining her in the round of 6. Harving has been impressive throughout.
Halpin chimes in. Michael Halpin. About time. Haven't seen your name today. Always love to see your name in the chat. Michael Halpin, I like Amanda Fisher in this one. Amanda Fisher is in lane number 6. We will watch her closely, and thank you for your pick, Mr. Halpin.
Lindsay Lane rolls forward to the set of 6. It's Fisher, Harving, Lane, Ariel Saunders. She's rolling the bar forward. Those are your top 4 in the heat. Overall leader Lydia Fish wearing the leader's jersey, middle of the floor. The white tank top there is now in the back of the sheet as Allison Wynn rolls her bar forward in lane number 1.
Halpin, I do not like Amanda Fisher's wide grip. I will tell you that.
Amanda Fisher, the only athlete at the 165 bar. 6 reps remaining, 2:36 on the clock. Over 2 minutes to go until the time to beat. Remember, in performance-based scoring, the top score matters a lot. If she's able to maintain this pace and beat those top scores, which have been relatively close up to this point by a significant margin, that will change the way that this one is scored for the field as a whole. She's got 2 reps in the bank. Harving right next to her has got 1 rep in the bank at the 165 bar. Fisher finishes the 165 and rolls it forward at the 3-minute mark. 2 reps to go after she loads the bar to 175.
And I want to apologize. It was Emma Harving's wide grip that is not ideal for me. I had her and Amanda Fisher confused.
Harving lining up for her 3rd rep at 165. She's been going all singles on these, but has yet to miss and had a fairly steady cadence. Don't mind that at all. Fisher, 2 reps to go. She's in the foreground there with the pink writing on her shirt. Pink pants and black shirt is Harving, repping the U.S. Army Warrior Fitness. She's one of 4 U.S. Army Warrior Fitness athletes competing here this week. Fisher, 2 reps to go, 3:43 on the clock. That's 1. And that's 2. 3:49 for Fisher. New time to beat, nearly a minute ahead of Hannah Black's previous best time from the early heat. So Fisher will take the win on this 100 points and dramatically skew the entire scoring system because of that elite performance. Harving, second in the heat and looking to be second overall in the event potentially. That's 1 rep done. She's committed to the singles. It's paid off for her up to this point. 4:11 on the clock. Still 35 seconds to Hannah Black's time. Wide grip and singles for Harving, and the first missed rep as she wristed a little bit there, and it cost her.
And if you look in the back there in the center, you'll see Lydia Fisher. She's currently sitting in first place. And the longer it takes her to get up to that final bar, which it does not look like she's going to get today, the less likely it is she's going to maintain that first place.
Another missed rep for Harving there. Far side of the floor, Allison Wynn with the bar off the ground. She's working on 165 bar. Left side of your screen in the orange shorts, Ariel Saunders is working on 165. Behind her in the gray t-shirt, Lindsay Lane is working on 165. And Lydia Fish, as you mentioned, is still on the 155 barbell. 5 minutes have now passed. Third attempt at the final lift for Harving. Front of the screen, pink pants. And she'll get it at 5:06. So Harving, second in the heat, but lets 3 other times slip by her there with those 2 missed reps.
Are you surprised that they both beat Hannah Black?
She did not beat Hannah Black
Oh, okay.
or Aaliyah Miller or Chloe Wilson. She was poised to, but did not. Now, Ariel Saunders, white and orange now, having lost the t-shirt with 2 reps remaining. She's going to go to work at 175 at the 530 mark. That's a good rep for her. She's going to go for the double and gets it. 536 for Saunders, bouncing back after a stumble on the handstand walk this morning. We thought she might be good with the barbell. Former University of Michigan rowing team, and continuing to have some great showings here. All smiles after clearing the thruster ladder. Allison Wynn, far side of the floor, 2 reps to go. Pink pants Lindsay Lane, also 2 reps to go.
Sanders
1 for Wynn, 1 for Lane.
Sanders in the orange shorts was in first place today going into the handstand walk. Then she dropped down to 9th place, had a great finish here. And as Brian said, she comes from the rowing team, which means the chipper for her tomorrow may be fantastic.
6:14 for Wynn. Thought she might have a good performance. That is quite solid. In fact, Lane right behind her at 6:20. Lindsay Lane, known for her gymnastics, but also showing good strength there and continuing to have impressive performances across the board. And that leaves 19-year-old Lydia Fish, who's the overall leader in this division, on the floor. She's in the middle of her set at 165.
Audrey, I'll join you in some toe spacing. I'll do some toe spacing now, too.
One more rep at 165 remaining for Fish. Now, this has been the best heat top to bottom so far. Not surprising. It's the top heat after the first day of competition in which there were some heavy implements the athletes had to navigate. So Lydia Fish, despite being in the back of her heat, still has a chance to salvage a decent score here. And that's for rep 165. So with 2 minutes and 45 seconds remaining, she's got 2 reps to go if she wants to clear the ladder.
And this circling of the other athletes on the floor, offering her support, is what I affectionately started calling in 2016 the circle of death. When all the athletes have surrounded you and started cheering you on, you know that you fucked up.
Two reps to go for Fish, 2 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock. 8 women have not cleared the ladder already. And that, I think that should be a no rep. It clearly moved. Yeah, no rep there.
Oh, we had a stutter. Can you tell us what you saw? I didn't see it. What was the note? She didn't lock out at the top?
She did lock out. I think that basically her core gave way at the lockout before the ref, the judge had credited the rep, and she stumbled backwards a few steps. So it was given as a no rep, which I believe that is the correct call.
AM Fitness, some of those athletes are Lydia's training partners. Fair enough. I stand corrected. It's not the circle of death.
That is a good rep for Fish. 8:25 on the clock, so she still has a chance to finish this. John Young, I don't think it's the biggest skew so far. Hudson Fricky in the Masters division had a 29-point gap from him to second place on event number 1. But with that 1 minute gap between Fisher and everyone else, I would expect somewhere in the neighborhood of Fish finishes out at 8:49. A huge celebration for her, probably knowing that this was going to be the most challenging test for her of the weekend. She finishes it. She's ahead of a few other women who finished the ladder, including the 8 women that did not finish it. So that'll probably be in the neighborhood of 30 to 40 points for Fish. And for John Young's question, I would guess a 15-point gap from Fisher to Black and Miller and Wilson, who will all be very, very tight.
Did you see when Ariel Sanders hugged her, you got to really see how little Lydia Fish was? How tall is she?
I would say that Lydia is 5'3", 130, and Ariel Sanders is 5'10", 160 or 70. So, yeah, big size discrepancy there.
Mind over matter. If you say so. Yeah, girl. That's the winner right there. You are looking at Emma Harvang. Is that correct? No, sorry. Amanda Fisher. With
Amanda Fisher taking the win for the women on event 4. Are we going to switch streams for the men?
That's a great question. That is a great question. We should. Let me see if we're queued up for that. Got so excited. Yeah. I have the time to start at 1:20. Do we have 7 minutes for that?
Yep.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be back in 7 minutes, 1:20 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then when we come back, we'll talk to those girls waving to Souza on the side there. Oh, there's Anthony Davis. Whoa, big dog in the house. Anthony, win this event easy if he's here? There he is.
Easy. I don't know. There's some strong guys here. I definitely would put him top 5. He would probably be the favorite to win it, but I don't know for sure. There's Austin Hatfield, Colton Mertens, Daniel Coots, Drake Lewis, all could potentially give him a run for the money.
Mr. McQueen?
Probably not relative to those guys, although I think he'll have a middle of the pack finish on this one.
Come on, give my boy some love, Mr. McQueen. Souza, thanks for the audience cam. I'll be sending out new links soon. See you guys in 6 minutes. Brian Friend, thank you. Bye-bye.